Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Burns. We'll just, you're next. Okay, come on up, sir. So, what was the last name?
Cortez.
You are Joe Cortez.
Yes.
Mr. Cortez, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you.
On March 4th, 2025, in Harris County, Texas, officer was dispatched to a disturbance call and made contact with the complainant witness, who stated that the complainant witness is her father. The complainant witness stated that her father had arrived and was attempting to load a shotgun as he was upset from a previous incident.
He was loading a shotgun?
He stated that a witness, her grandmother, and her were attempting to take the shotgun from him when the defendant hit the complainant on her left eye multiple times with a closed fist, causing pain. She stated that as he was holding the shotgun, the defendant stated to her that he was going to kill her, grappling his hands against her neck, applying minimal pressure as she was blocking his hands. The witness stated that the defendant had been upset due to a car accident and that today he was loading a shotgun. And when her and the complainant attempted to take it away, the defendant hit the complainant in the face multiple times. Officers observed the defendant as he was still holding a shotgun shell in his hands when officers arrived and observed a red mark on the complainant's left eye and forehead area.
He's currently unemployed and lives with CW judge. That's as far as I got with him in terms of anything going for him.
I got to tell you, your lawyer wants me to give you a PR bond, but Mr. Cortez, I got to tell you, you scare me, dude. You're on bond for a DWI third right now. You're allegedly loading a shotgun. You got all this. You scare me. The last thing I want is more blood or a dead body, you know?
Yes.
So don't say anything. I'm just telling you why I'm doing what I'm doing. Is my fear is that, you know, something even more egregious happens. If we give you a PR and you go back, there's nowhere else to go. And the last thing I want is a dead body. We have enough drama in this life as it is, you know? I'm sorry, man. I can't. It scares me, you know? I am ordering you now not to have any contact with complaining witnesses in this case and not to go within 500 feet of where they live, where they work. Do you understand? I don't know if you're going to bond out, but if you do, I'm putting a monitor on your ankle so I know that you're not anywhere near where these people live. Do you understand, Mr. Cortez?
All right.
Life is too short to live the next 30 to 40 years in a 6x9 box. It's not. It's way too short. You understand? All right. Thanks. Okay. Yeah. So you have Cortez as well.
Yes.
This is the case that we spoke about
Exactly. Last
the other
week.
day. Did something happen?
Hey, when you gonna check upstairs, he had a pending felony as well, just to make sure that we were good to go with what we had discussed. And they said, yeah, so.
Okay, so you got the, okay, I guess, right? Okay. Mr. Cortez, come on up.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Cortez. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 2 days.
We're pleading open to you.
Oh,
We're not doing time served. We talked to you last week about pleading open and you're deferred.
it's not written as such then.
It's a-
Huh?
It's a medallion regret.
Because look, it says 3 days credit.
Yeah, that's how it was.
Oh, I see. Okay, so basically, essentially, I guess the state and your lawyer do not have an agreement as to what kind of punishment, so you're coming to me to punish you in this case. Are you okay with this?
John.
Okay, understand that, you know, it's a first DWI, you know, we're all allowed to make mistakes, right? We all make mistakes, everybody's human. But the problem is if you continue to make mistakes and you endanger other people's lives, that's when we have problems. And that's why we have harsher punishments, because we need to somehow get you to learn you can't keep doing this, because at some point, God forbid, something happens where you maim or kill someone. That's what we're trying to prevent. You have to understand that what we're doing now, the proverbial slap on the wrist, will not happen again. From now on, you're facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. Not only that, because this DWI is going on your record, if you get pulled over, an officer's going to run your record, they're going to see that you're a prior DWI. If you smell like alcohol, what do you think they're going to do? Probably right. So if I were you, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, I would never get into a car, because it's a huge risk. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to sentence you to 3 days in jail. I will give you credit for the 2 days that you've done. But like I said, from now on,
We were pleading to defer, Your Honor.
oh, you want to defer?
Yes.
Oh, that's, because here it says.
I don't know why the papers were that way. The state offered time served, we were coming to you for defer.
Okay. Is this what you want to do?
All right.
Okay, so this is a big difference, right? The deferred, and thank you for telling me.
Thanks, yeah, for probation.
So this is a probation where you must complete several things, right? If you do it, then good things will happen, right? What? Okay, so, I guess we'll do, 180 days. Probated for, I'm sorry, so we'll do deferred for 1 year. As part of the probation, you must complete a DWI education class. You must do a victim impact panel. You must maintain a guardian interlock throughout the entirety of this case. No drugs, alcohol, random urinalysis. So anything else that you would want?
Community service, did you already say that? Jess?
I mean, what does community service do? You know, it's, I'd rather have him take a class and learn something than just mindless, just. Do you have any children, Mr. Cortez? Do you have any children?
Yes.
No? Okay, I'm just gonna do just these, just. Even though you're doing a deferred, officers will still see this. You get pulled over, they're probably still gonna give you a hard time regardless. So, but regardless, whenever, no matter how old you are, no matter where you go, you're on a date, you're with the Queen of England, don't, if you have something to drink, don't get into a car. Do you understand?
Don't.
If you violate this probation by testing dirty, picking up a new case, you don't do your stuff on time, I will issue a warrant and we will have a hearing to determine whether you violated this probation. If you do, you're looking at 180 days in jail. Do you understand?
Sure.
All right. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Council Flores.
I'm not going to find you guilty. I will withhold it for 1 year, get everything done, and then things will go well for you. Is that it?
That's great, Judge.
You done?
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Sorry.
Council Flores.
Mr. David Montalago on your docket. You ready? Can I bring him up?
Please.
Mr. Montalago?
So this is the 18, right? Good morning, Mr. Montalongo. Sir, you're charged with terroristic threat of a family or household member. That is a Class A misdemeanor. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you a 6-month deferred adjudication. This is a type of probation that if you successfully complete, you do not end up with a conviction on your record, but it's not dismissed. You cannot tell people it was dismissed. It was a successful probation. If you complete it, you don't end up with a conviction on your record. There's a big difference. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
For you to complete this successfully, you must do a batters intervention prevention program. That is a class that you must attend once a week for 18 weeks. You must do an anger management class. No drugs, no alcohol, no harassing, threatening, or abusive contact with a Cynthia Montalongo and a Adelio Montalongo. You understand?
Sir.
You give up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement, you are stuck with us until you either complete it successfully or it gets revoked. If you don't do your stuff on time, if you pick up a new case, if you get kicked out of a class, all these are causes that could be potentially revoke your probation. We issue a warrant for your arrest, put you in jail. You're looking at an entire year in jail if you violate this agreement. Do you understand?
Sir.
Knowing all this, do you still want to do this? Knowing all these consequences, by entering into this agreement, you give up nearly every right known to man. So if you violate this, holy moly, you're looking at a ton of time. Do you understand?
Sir.
All right. Can you get this done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How do you plead to the offense? Guilty or not guilty?
Good.
I'm not going to find you guilty. I will withhold it for 6 months, give you the opportunity to complete this thing, and I'll make you a deal. If you do well, if you get your stuff done quick, I'll take you off in half the time as a reward. But that means be nice to everybody. Don't be a problem. Don't test positive for anything. And just be nice. It's not hard. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The worst possible thing you could do is just take off. Because once that happens, you abscond, we issue an immediate warrant. If there's ever an issue, you can come back, talk to us, and we can always work things out. It's never about the money. I don't care about the money. I care about you doing the classes and you learn something so you don't come back. There's an affirmative finding of family violence on this thing. So that means you pick up another one, you could be looking at a ton of time. Do you understand?
Sir.
You may not own a gun or ammunition as a result of this thing as well. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Glover. Okay, so Mr. Glover, you have picked up a burglary of a motor vehicle. You've also picked up an assault of a family member. On both of those cases, you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You have worked out an agreement where they're offering you 120 days in jail with credit for the 66 on the assault and 68 days on the burglary of a motor vehicle. You need to understand that both of these cases will go on your record. They will be there for the rest of your life. On the assault case, there's an affirmative finding of family violence, meaning you pick up another one of these, you will be facing a 3rd-degree felony, 2 to 10 of the penitentiary. And if you've been to the pen, it could be just, they can continue to enhance your punishment, perhaps 5 to life, 15 to life. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
On the burglary of a motor vehicle, all that is also an enhanceable offense, meaning you continue to pick up those cases. At some point, I'll hit you with a felony on that as well. Do you understand?
Sir.
From now on, you're facing a minimum of 90 days in any misdemeanor court here in the state of Texas. Any misdemeanor you pick up, it's a minimum of 90 days in jail. You give up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, there's no turning around. This is stuck. It'll be there forever. Is this what you want to do?
Sir.
You also need to understand that if you're on parole, pleading guilty to both of these cases, they may revoke your parole, sending you back to prison. What is ISF? I don't know what's going to happen, but they can revoke your parole, send you back to prison. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You still want to do all this? How do you plead to the assault and the burglary of a motor vehicle? Guilty or not guilty? I'm going to find you guilty. I will sentence you to both cases. I'm going to roll your court costs so you won't owe anything. Good luck to you, Mr. Glover. Love. Thanks, Will.
Thanks, Judge.